This is the chapter number 8 of the Theory of the Transcendent Reality (TTR) regarding the physics of the existence, written by Mauro Bernardini. In this chapter we schematically will see some examples of answers to some questions arising by the following areas of thought: science, religions, popular belief. Indeed, even if the TTR theory has as its main focus the science questions concerning the mystery of the existence, it can also answer many of the typical questions of all the areas of thought. Starting with the science, we can consider the following simple examples. Universe expansions. Which is the cause of the expansion of the universe? The science says, the effect of dark energy. Black holes. What is the cause of black holes? Science claims that they are the effects of superpowerful gravity points. Big Bang. What is the cause of the Big Bang? The science considers only some effects few seconds after the Big Bang. Casimir effect. Why the Casimir effect? The science says, energy of vacuum caused by virtual particles. Time. What's the meaning of the time? The science says, the dimension in which it is conceived and measured, the passage of events. Speed of light. Is the speed of light different in each n-dimensional space? Well, these are the answers of the TTR theory for each of these science questions just seen. For the universe expansions, the theory suggests that this is due to the thrust force operated by the points on each space, both during their entry and their crossing. The black holes for the TTR theory are rips in the universe's trauma, created by at least one point of Aleph, in which at the same time are concentrated many others points of Aleph, ready to exit from the same universe. The rips cannot be stitched up in time from each point of Aleph, and this determines a chasm always opened, where every point of Aleph with his final path in the neighborhood will exit without having the time to open and close the rip. So, in essence, it is an open passage to the 11D world, through which many points of Aleph appear to be extraordinarily attracted. The Big Bang for the TTR theory is just the simulation of the initial moment when the points of Aleph have started to populate one n-dimensional space, as for instance our 3D space. It is an event that in fact never took place because Aleph has always existed, and so there has never been an initial moment in which the spaces in it were empty of particles of existence. Nevertheless, the theoretical process of the Big Bang reproduces itself at every single collision of a point of Aleph with our universe. In that case, the SVP components of any new particle of existence, generated by the collision of the point of Aleph that carries it, are pulverized, while being always connected between them and with their conveyor point, a fraction of time after. The particles SVP start grouping together to form the superhydrogen particle, which corresponds to the 3D sections structure of the point of Aleph, until his final exit. The speed of light varies in each n-dimensional space inside of Aleph. This occurs since the 11-dimensional points of Aleph meet a viscous resistance inside the spaces, which increases with decreasing the number of dimensions DCR according to the law LCS. For Casimir effect, the TTR theory says that, even if the preponderant presence of naked EPE-Section-Souls probabilistically cause them to enter and exit quickly from space, so producing a continuous push even in the vacuum, nevertheless outside a vacuum between the two Casimir plates, there are always many others EPE-Section-Souls crossing for more time, so adding their push on the plates of Casimir. For the meaning of the time, the TTR theory says that the past, the present and the future respectively represent the status of the existence of the EPE-Section-Souls before, during and after the crossing of the space of the points to which they belong. Now we see some example of how the TTR theory can answer to the popular belief regarding the mystery of the existence. For the TTR theory, it is justifiable to put a tombstone in a geographical location of our universe in which dies a human being, for example due to a road accident. This is because that is precisely the place where the point of Aleph of the human died has leaves the space to exit definitively. Why some people read hands in order to predict the future. A being can live more or less in direct function of the path followed by the point of Aleph into the crossed space. The line AC shows that a being cannot live its complete life because his point randomly emerges from the side from whom he entered, before going through the space completely. In these cases the being dies prematurely and the duration of its life depends on the time taken to re-emerge through the output U1, while, in for the line AB, the point follows all the way, emerging from the U2, so creating all possible EPE-Section-Souls of himself. In this case, we say that the being dies a natural death. The last example we represent in this slide regards the popular belief of the existence of the spirits where the beings die. This kind of belief finds a clear answer in the TTR theory as shown in the previous chapters. Indeed, the being E5, as we saw, is a possible candidate to be associated to the spirits as many people believe. Now we consider the answers provided by the TTR theory to some religious belief. For instance, the reincarnation is just one of these ones. Indeed, as shown in this slide, when a point of Aleph exits by the 3D space, he can immediately re-enter in it by generating another random EPE-Section-Soul, the new being created, in the example a vegetable being, as well as the one previously created by the same point of Aleph, in the example a human being. Probably both differ for SVP composition and therefore for typology. But of sure they are both the expression of the same point of Aleph, that is, more or less they have the same internal affinities, that is the same soul. Another example of religious belief is the concept of Mother and Father Divine. In this case the TTR theory suggests that these two entities are just respectively the half of all the Aleph points of type female and the other half of type male. The divine prerogatives of these two Aleph parts can be easily imaginable if we thinking to the divine existence are just one of the infinite points of Aleph that compose each of two. Finally, we can observe that the main religious belief regarding the eternal life of our soul, the fact that, as soon as we died, our body will return to be rough material as it was before our existence as three-dimensional beings, the absence of the free will ability for all the beings of our universe, since they depend only upon the will of God, etc., are all the basic of the TTR theory as we saw in these presentation chapters.